Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look, when you live the lifestyle, it's almost an automatic thing for you to learn to not trust, right? I had to always be on guard of everybody, not just the brothers and the individuals that were not a part of the organization that I belong to, but the individuals that were a part of it as well. I had to watch everybody, and I did my best to make sure that I knew who was around me, who was trying to trick me, who was trying to game me. It's exhausting. I'm telling you, it's exhausting. But every now and then, somebody slips by you. And you can't really figure it out until it's too late. It's just too late. The signs are there, but you miss it. Because you're looking left when you should be looking right. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what this story is about. This story is about this brother named 250, right? And this female named Nikki. She was the police. She was an officer, right? Now look, 250 was a rock man. And I was a clerk. Because most of the time I've been in the penitentiary, I did clerk jobs, right? But I was a clerk. And as a clerk, I'm responsible for, whatever administrative role that the unit manager or whoever my supervisor is wants me to do. If that means go copy some papers, type some papers, stock the shelves, whatever they wanted you to do, that's what you do. Go put memos up on the bulletin boards, take memos down, whatever it is that they ask you to do, as a clerk, that's what you're supposed to do, right? And this brother named 250, like I said, he was the rock man, so he worked in the area outside of the office, sweeping, mopping, and buffing the floors, keeping the restrooms clean, and all of these different types of things. And while I'm on the inside of the office, I'm around the people that, run the building that we live in, right? Unit manager, the case manager, the counselors. These people are inside the office where I'm at. It wasn't an office that I had. It's really a broom closet converted to look like an office. They put a desk in there and maybe a typewriter and maybe the copy machine. You're not really doing anything that it violates security or anything. You don't have any responsibilities like that, But you just a runner, basically. You're a runner, and that's cool. It's a coveted job in the penitentiary. A lot of people want it because they believe it gives you access to the people that, that run the building. So you think that you can influence them to show you favor from time to time and let you slide and all this and that. They think that. It's not the case, but most people on the outside think that, right? And that's what this brother 250 thought. 250 wanted to be in the office. He wanted to be around what he perceived the action and the people that ran the building. So one day, like always, they were always hiring people into the system. Always hiring people into the system. So this female officer, her name was Nikki. We're going to call her Nikki. Nikki hired in but what they had back in the day, they called an inmate relations coordinator. It's basically somebody that, if you needed something done, you could talk to them and they could help you get it done or whatever the case may be. As long as it was policy, as long as it's within the rules and regulations, they were just basically there to smooth the transition between, your question and getting to the answer, of your question, right? Helping you out in what way they could, as long as it was policy. So this person interacted with the population quite a bit. Everybody knew Miss Nikki in the building. Everybody. There's 120 people on each side. Everybody knew who Miss Nikki was. Miss Nikki come into the pod and she'll sit down at the table, talk to you. She might, if ain't nobody watching, she might play some dominoes or play some spades with you. And her job was to have her finger on the pulse of the population, basically. Know who's who, what's what, and what's going on, right? She did that well. Did it very well. But see, a lot of times when I be in the back office, I'm taking care of some paperwork or trying to make sure that it's enough toilet paper in the unit, just different things like that, right? I'm in the office and this brother 250, he coming up in there a lot. Now I know 250 vice lord. He vice lord, he the opposition, right? But he chill. We got an understanding. Stay out of my way, I stay out of yours and all this and that. But again, he works in the area so he can come in and out of the office. They didn't trip like that about him coming in there because he might come in there and empty the trash and things like that and ask them, do they need anything? He'll run and get them ice and all these little things like that. And he gunning at Miss Nikki. He gunning out. I respect the game. I respect the game. So I stayed out the way. All the way out the way. So one day, everything's running smooth, you know what I'm saying? And the unit manager says, I got to leave. I'll be back, you know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all. This is on a Friday. I'll see y'all on Monday. We'll do this and that. Make sure everything's straight. Now, Miss Nikki had to work that weekend. I don't know why, but she had to work that weekend. It was already well known, because they post that on the bulletin boards. Who out of the office is going to be in on the weekend in case some problems arise. She can handle it or they can handle it. And this was her rotation, you know what I'm saying, for the weekend. And her time was up to work that weekend. So she letting it be known, she going to be there that weekend and everything going to run smoothly, all this and that, right? So I see 250, he getting at her. 250 cracking, he popping at her, shooting his shot. So, I get up and I walk up out the office like, I don't want to hear what's going on. It ain't my business anyway. So why should I even care about it? You know what I'm talking about? I get all the way out the way. So later on in the afternoon, you know what I'm saying, I come back out just to make sure everything in my area was put up and neat and clean and whatnot, because sometimes they call me back in the office on the weekend when somebody's there to work. So I just wanted to make sure I had everything straight because, I got other things I'm trying to do. I got that bag about that time. I'm trying to get money. I ain't got time to be in the office just chilling like that because I'm chasing the bag, right? Getting the money. So look here. The weekend come around. I'm sitting in the sale with my partner. We waiting on dude to come back with that pack from the visit. Sitting in the sale, we can look out the window. We can see the whole sidewalk out there. When he come out the VG, we can see him. So we just sitting there waiting. All of a sudden, they come over the intercom system. Back in the day, they call your name on the intercom. Inmate Baker, report to the unit manager's office. I'm like, oh, man, here we go. So I go out there. I say, what's going on? What's up, Miss Nikki? She said, I need you to take care of something for me. I said, all right, then, what's up? She said, I left a note on your desk you know what I'm saying, of what you need to do and all this. And there was some files she had been working on. She wanted me to file them and, you know what I'm saying, put some papers in some of them and all this and that, right? Nothing major, just some little busy work. And I'm looking at her like, right, you could have done this yourself, but I ain't say that. But I look at her, give her that look like, don't be calling me out here for this. This is something that'll take 5 or 10 minutes. You could have done this, right? But again, I don't say nothing. She's my supervisor at this time. I can't talk to her like that. So about that time while I'm in there, and I'm putting stuff up, 250 walk in. And I heard him, he in there talking to her, and then it's real low, like they whispering or something like that, right? And I'm wondering what they talking about. I ain't nosy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to really just hear what they talking about, but I'm curious now. What you whispering for? If two individuals in the penitentiary whispering, that means they up to something. That's just what it means. Can't tell what they saying, though. By that time, you know what I'm saying, I'm still sitting at the desk. Here come 250. He turned, he passing by. I see him pass by the door. He walking out. He looked like he kind of upset about something. So me, I get up and I walk up. I said, Miss Nikki, you straight? And she got this look on her face. She red boned. Just, you know what I'm saying? She a red bone woman. So I could tell her blood pressure was up because she looked like she was mad. You know what I'm saying? Her complexion was different, right? I said, everything straight? You good? She was like, yeah, I'm good, Baker. Thank you. I said, okay then, I'm going to go on back over here and finish up, and then I'm going to get on down. She said, no, could you stay out here for a while? I said, stay out here for a while for what? I got some things I need to take care of. She said, oh, okay. And it was something in the tone that she used when she said, oh, okay, to let me know something ain't right. So I turned around, I looked at her, I said, Miss Knight. I said, you sure? I give her that serious look. You sure? She was like, yeah, because look, I'm going to tell y'all something. See, it's been situations where people be trying to push up on the females in here, and then when they don't go, it gets ugly. Dude might have something on or whatnot, and she's trying to process, you know what I'm saying, she might have done went too far and then changed her mind or whatever. She's trying to figure out what her next move is. So I give her that look, letting her know, look, if you need me to take care of something, just say the word. Now, it's going to cost her, but I'm just saying, I give her that look. But she said she was cool. I said, okay, that's what's up. So I go finish up everything I need to do, and I stall and jackball, you know what I'm saying, for another 30 or 40 minutes. And then she finally walks over. She said, Baker, you can leave if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. She said, lock the door on your way out. Now, that was uncommon. You know what I'm saying? Because the office, you want people to be able to come and go, but it's cool. I said, I got you. I'm going to lock the door. I said, if you need me, just call for me and I'll come back out here. She said, okay. So when I leave, I lock the door, the front door, the main door. Now, the officers, they can get in. They got keys, but inmates don't have keys like that. We can't come in and out the office unless somebody let us in if that door's locked. So I leave. I go back to the cell. I'm sitting there talking to my partner. By that time, dude come back with that bag. You know what I'm saying? We going to get that bag, chop that thing down, get it ready, put it out there on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody get what they going to get. Let the money get to rolling, right? Now, well, we take care of the business. This is still on my mind. What's up with Miss Nikki? You know what I'm saying? She got me locking the door and all this and that. She upset, 250. Done walked out of the office looking like he upset. I'm curious. But it made me feel kind of concerned about the area. Not the individuals, but the area. I don't need no heat out there. You understand what I'm saying? I got too many things going on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need all of that. So I go back out there and I knock on the door. She come to the door. She throw her hand up and say, hold up. I said, all right. So it's a desk right sitting outside in the E-pod area. It's just the area right outside the front door. So I sit down, because normally that's where the officer would be sitting. So I sit down right there and I'm waiting. Waiting about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. About that time, the door open up. I see 250 walking out. He got this little funny smirk on his face, looking all silly and whatnot, but it's one of them looks like, yeah, all that type stuff, right? So I walk in, I go in the back, I'm looking at her, she look like, I don't know, she looked like she been doing something, you know, I ain't talking about, you know, messing around or nothing like that, but she had that look on her face like she's up to something. So I said, I just stopped by, you know, check on you to make sure you were straight. You know, I noticed earlier you kind of like shook. No, I'm just trying to see what you got going on. She said, no, I had some stuff up and I had to figure some stuff out, but everything's straight right now. I said, okay. I said, look, can I talk to you for a minute? She was like, yeah, sit down. So I sit down and I said, look here, Miss Nikki. I don't get in nobody business. You know what I'm saying? But look, in this area out here, you want to be careful what you got going on and who you messing with or whatever. I don't care. Do you. You feel what I'm saying? Then she shot back. She said, what you talking about? I said, look, it's clear what's up. It's clear to me anyway, because I'm out here. I see it. It's clear. But you ain't got to worry about me saying Nathaniel. I don't care nothing about whatever you got going on. I'm just saying to you, be careful. Be careful now. Do you, but be careful. Because they don't play. You understand what I'm saying? She said, appreciate that. I said, okay. Then I get on down. I'm back in the cell, money rolling in, everything good. But I can't get this off my mind. So now I kick into that mode where I'm watching everything. I don't know what 250 got going on. Like I said, he the op. I don't know what he got going on. But I don't really care as long as it don't bleed over into whatever I got going on and mess up the area. I don't need the police running in there, shaking down, and then because I work in there, they automatically gonna shake the cell down. You see what I'm saying? Then my celly gonna be upset because I'm bringing heat to the area and all of that. Ain't nothing in there. I don't hide nothing in there. But the point is, I don't need all that drama. Because when they start doing all that, then they start watching you. And if they start to watch you, then they mess up the money. You see what I'm talking about? So now I'm paying attention to all of this, right? So now when he come in, I said, what you need, bro? What you got going on? He said, no, I'm just trying to holler at Miss Nikki, you know, this, that, and the third. I said, uh-huh. So, okay then. So now, he ain't got no rank or nothing like that, right? So, but I do. I'm the 9. You understand what I'm saying? So, I go to his brother, the 5-star. You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, let me get at you for a second. And I'm hollering at him and talking to him. I'm telling him what's going on, right? And I said, look, bro, I ain't trying to get in nobody's business. You feel what I'm saying? And look, when I go talk to him, I got them goons behind me. You understand what I'm saying? I always go hard. It's about what it look like. You always remember that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I said, look, I ain't in nobody's business, man, but I ain't just digging your brother constantly in and out of this office out here, man, running me hot. He ain't ran me hot, but that's what I'm telling him. You know what I'm saying? His brother. He ain't ran me hot yet anyway. He said, Joe T, I said, I feel. He said, I feel. He said, look, I'll holler at him, man, but I think he trying to take care of something, man. Just give him a little rope, man. You feel what I'm saying? Do that for me. Now, it's one thing you need to understand about the heads of different organizations. While things might be tense and we might be on opposite sides of the fence, right? We try to work with each other. you know. So when he asked me that, I know I'm extending my hand to him by saying, okay, then he'll owe me one. And this just goes back and forth like that, tit for tat. But it let me know something up. That's what I really needed to know anyway. It let me know something up. So now I'm watching everything. Everything is under the microscope. So weeks go by, everything keep moving like it is, you know what I'm saying? The unit manager, he's starting to get questions, you know what I'm saying, from other staff members, other officers that work there talking about, you know, you got this guy 250 in the office all the time, and this, that, and the third, you know, because, you know, the police going to report what's going on around there, right? The only one supposed to be in the office area at any time is me, the clerk, unless they in and out, you know what I'm saying, taking care of some business. You feel what I'm saying? They can't be camping out in there, and 250 done start camping out in there after hours, you know, on the days that Miss Nikki worked late, on the weekends and all this and that. He in there, feet kicked up, chilling, eating McDonald's and everything. He doing his thing. He real big with it. I'm figuring they got something going on and all this and that, right? But hold up. Wait a minute. I'm chilling in the office area one day, in there typing up some stuff, you know what I'm saying, for Miss Nikki and all this and that, right? And clack, 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 on the typewriter, right? I could type 102 words a minute. Y'all think I can't type. I can get down, right? I'm typing, but at the same time, my ears just like a hound dog. I'm listening over the typewriter keys. And I hear somebody say flower. Wait a minute. Hold up. That VL language, flower, that's the females. Store that in my memory bank and I finish typing, you know what I'm saying? Then I leave. I get out there into the pod area. I get my COS. I said, man, let's walk and talk. We go out back, you know what I'm saying? We walking the track. While I'm walking the track, I said, look here, man. You know, 250 in the back with Miss Nikki, man, and I heard them say something about the flower. My COS, he just like me. He said, look here. He said, hold up. I thought it was something funny about her. He said, I believe she a vice lord, man. Cause dude in there too much all the time. All the time. I said, man, I thought they were messing up. He's like, man, we got to find out and confirm this. I said, yeah, I can't be working around nobody like that, man. I don't know what she got going on. Then I'm thinking, this is stupid of me at that time. I'm thinking, hey, I wonder if she know about me. Knowing he done told her if that's the business. I know he done told her. So I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. Because I know 250 been trying to get up in that office, right? I'm thinking, oh, the cross-side coming eventually. It's got to come. He going to get up in there if she's a flower. So look, check this out. Listen to me now. I need y'all to pay attention to what I'm trying to say. So I get on the hunt. I'm trying to find out. So I see who she messed with. And then I start, you know what I'm saying, inquiring about different things, right? You got to remember. See, some officers you can talk to. They'll let you know what's going on, especially if they don't like the other officer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm inquiring, but don't nobody know nothing about them. Don't nobody know nothing about them. Nothing. So then, one day she come into work, and I noticed, you know, because they had their hair up, you know what I'm saying, and hers was up, but I noticed she had this tattoo behind her ear, but it was a 5-point star. But I'm looking behind, I said, well, wait a minute. She could be a blood or a vice lord, but I'm seeing it. So I'm chilling one day, and I don't know what got into me. I said, Miss Nikki, what's up with the tats? Oh, look, and she pulled her sleeve up, showing her arm and all this, and then she got stuff all over her. And then, I said, what's that right there? She pulled her sleeve down. She done let me see too much. You know what I'm saying? I said, what's up with you? I said, for real? You doing it like that? Then she looked back at me. She said, what's up with you? I said, what you talking about? And if you want to know what I'm talking about with that conversation with Miss Nikki, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.